Hi, my name is Tonya Barbee. I'm the Clinical Support Specialist with Communities and Schools, and this is
Courtney Lucas. I am the site coordinator for Brunswick High School.
And we're actually here in the Brunswick High classroom. Like we've said previously, in all the schools where we serve, we have a classroom specifically designed for our students to be in here when needed.
Okay. So talk about services that you provide to the entire school and how you classify those.
So the services that we provide for the entire student body are called Tier 1 supports. And Tier 1 supports, again, are available to anybody, any student in the classroom. So Courtney, maybe just give them a couple examples of some Tier 1 supports this year at Brunswick High.
Yeah, so some of the Tier 1 supports that we have this year at Brunswick High School is that we offer clothing closet to students who may be in need of a change of clothes or maybe dress coded. We offer like coats and jackets. We offer food supplies and snacks for students who are in need. And we also offer school supplies and like feminine hygiene products, deodorant, items like that. And that is available for any student within Brunswick High School. We also offer Tier 1 supports that service the students when it comes down to like Start with Hello Week, or Unity Week, things like that helps promote inclusion, making sure that students are all feeling a sense of belonging here within the school and support during their time here at the high school as well amongst the student body.
Great. And so then from Tier 1, you move deeper into the CIS model with other supports, and you serve you case manage students.
Correct. So Tier 2 and Tier 3 supports are students that we are actually case managing. And this year, Brunswick High will case manage approximately
About 96 students.
And case managing means?
And so case managing means that each student that is referred to us has an individual case plan based on what their needs are. And we're monitoring those needs at minimum every 9 weeks and making adjustments when needed. And so for some students that might mean that we're providing tutoring if that's what their need is, an academic need. If it's an attendance, we're really monitoring their attendance, making sure that they're at school. If not, we're calling and trying to understand why. If it's behavior, Courtney might have specific interventions that she's using with them to encourage that behavior to improve so that they can be more successful in the classroom.
Great. How does the process get started each year with parental consent, I'm sure?
Yes. So typically referrals are made through our site team, and site team at Brunswick High consists of who's all on your site team?
So at Brunswick High here we have the counseling department, the school social worker, as well as an administrator.
So typically the referrals come from the site team, but it doesn't have to wait until then. As a teacher or guidance counselor or administration, sometimes even students refer themselves that might need extra support. But once we do receive that referral, a parent permission slip is sent home, and once that is signed, we have access to Infinite Campus, which is what all parents can, if they would like to have access to for their students. And with that, we're able to monitor daily grades, attendance, discipline referrals, stuff like that.
What kind of issues are you seeing with students on a regular basis, but maybe even more so over the last couple of years with the pandemic and such?
Oh, well, we have seen a lot of adjustment, I would say, and having to, kids making adjustments with issues going on within their home, loss of income. We've had families and children find themselves homeless. We're seeing a lot of loss and grief. That's a lot of what I'm doing right now is grief work. And unfortunately, I think with the time being away from school, we're seeing a sense of apathy where it's hard for kids to kind of come to school and care about what they're doing. I think if you want to just add to that, I think that's one of the biggest concerns?
Yes, I think that with the uncertainty of the times that we're in with the pandemic, it seems like other things and other concerns get in the way of students valuing their education. They know that it's needed and necessary, but we find that it's challenging trying to get them to show up, some of the students to show up here every day to focus on schoolwork when some of the uncertainty and basic resources in their world is not there. And then we have students who are showing up, and it's just enough for us to get them in the door, and then it's just kind of tending to those needs that they're coming here with.
The relationship that you as a site coordinator have with the students you serve is based on establishing that relationship and trust, something that often lacks in their lives. Talk about that a little bit.
Yes, so a one-on-one care relationship with an adult is what is number one with our model, and it is necessary. A lot of these students really need it. A lot of the students on our caseload may have experienced a lot of disappointment or neglect or abandonment from some of the adults in their lives, and or maybe come in the doors with a lot of trauma or outside issues. So whenever they're in the school environment trying to learn, every adult may not know the background of what that student is coming to school with or what they're carrying. So to have a CIS site coordinator who is there for that student and welcomes them every day and makes them feel a sense of belonging and just care for them inherently for who they are and want to see them succeed is huge for a lot of those students.
Talk a little bit about the success that you've had over the last few years in terms of graduations and carrying out the CIS model.
Yeah, so we've been very fortunate over the last several years to do really well with helping our kids get all the way through and graduate. We've had a large number of students that have attended college, and all of our students, we have a plan for them that is enter the workforce, go to college, military, trade school. We really, the first part of our mission is to help kids succeed, but we also want them to succeed in life, not just graduate from high school. And so we have been fortunate to do, I think, a really good job of that. And I was just telling our staff the other day in a staff meeting that Communities in Schools has always been an important, vital organization for our community because of the relationships that we build with our students. But in these times, it is vital. It is just, it could be life-changing. It could really change the direction of a child's life. And we just are grateful to have the opportunity to serve in this capacity.
Yes.
Well, you can introduce yourself if you want me to introduce you.
Yeah, you can do that.
Emma Maxwell, our favorite CIS student in the world, right?
Keep going.
So Emma, how long have you been involved with CIS folks here at Brunswick High?
About 2 years.
Okay. And what is it that you get out of being involved in a program?
You build a lot of friendships when you're in CIS, and you always have a safe place to go and always have someone to talk to, and you get a lot of support from everyone.
Is that just at school, or do they check in on you after hours if needed, or?
They check on me after hours and during the summer as well.
Yeah, I got an awesome text over Christmas break. What was that?
Yeah.
What was my text?
I got accepted into Middle Georgia State.
Hey, very good, very good. And you attribute, you've been involved for 2 years. Would you feel like you're in the same place you are now if you had not gotten involved with CIS?
No, I don't. CIS and our coordinators, and when Mr. Brandon was here too, Miss Courtney and Mr. Brandon really helped me a lot and encouraged me to come to school when I didn't want to, and were always on top of me about my grades. So yeah, I don't think I would be where I am right now if it wasn't for everyone.
So Emma, how did you come to be involved with Communities in Schools?
In the past 2 years, I've experienced a lot of loss in my family. The last being both my parents. They were in a tragic car accident, and since like day one of it happening, Miss Courtney and Mr. Brandon reached out and were checking on me. And then when school started, I was introduced to Miss Tonya, and she came and checked on me every week. We talked. She's helped me overcome a lot of things that I didn't know I was facing, and I'm just really appreciative for everyone.
Well, now you'll be heading off to school.
That's right.
We're proud of you.
We're proud of you. Do you remember what you said after our first session together? I loved it. It was so funny.
What?
What did you think before you met me? You remember?
You were gonna be weird.
You're like, you're not even that weird. You're like, I thought you were going to be some old lady with gray hair. And
Yeah,
I was
I
like, well, don't fool yourself because I pay a lot of money for this.
Thank y'all for talking about communities and schools.